So here we have the evaporator. We just turn it around so that you can see it here. So you turn it on here. This is the hookup for the electricity, and here we have I think it's about 2-inch wide an exhaust that you can put this on here with about a 2-inch wide tube. Yeah. And then the other side you can put in whatever. If you have it in a hood, it doesn't matter, but if you have it in outside a hood, you can just hook this up anywhere your exhausts go. I'll take it away now. So this is the hookup for the nitrogen here, and then this is where these are just different fuses, and here you turn on the system. I'll turn it around now, and so here we have the 24 positions for the plastic tubes, for the PFAS evaporation. This system does not have an alarm like the other evaporators have, the SuperVaps that FMS makes. So it has to be, timed. Typically, our experience is that if you blow down at about 65 degrees centigrade, the solutions go to dryness in about 60 minutes or 60 to 70 minutes. One thing that I want to focus on is the nitrogen here. As you can see, it goes up to 20 psi easily. This is just without having a flow through it. 25 also. Now let me look at the delivery pressure. So the delivery pressure in the door that we're using with liquid nitrogen is about 50 to 60 psi. So that should be sufficient to get a nice, good pressure inside the system. This is actually your SuperVap 24 that we're going to ship back to you. It should be working. This is the top screen with the different labels: editor, run, configure, calibrate, data log, and plot. I want to first go to run. Here you push on it, and here you see the various features. Here we have here open, where it will show the files that are on the SD disk that is in the back of the system. I'll hit 65 here and do select, and I'll put it on step 2 here and hit single. I just want to show that when you start getting flow through the system, it's at 22 degrees, so it's about room temperature, and it starts here in the elapsed box. It starts to show the time. I'm now going to put it up. And as you can see, you can easily go up to 25 psi. And you can hear the hissing sound. I don't know if you can hear it on this video, but so now there's a large flow going through these 4. I just put them here on the corners. The 4, just for the sake of this video, these 4 polypropylene tubes. And I can feel there's a very strong flow here. So your system. This is your system that we're going to ship back to you. Should really have no issue with the nitrogen flow that I can tell. We verified it. We went through all the. We did elaborate checks, so it should be okay now. So I just wanted to show that. I'm going to turn this back down now. But so clearly there's no problem with the nitrogen flow with the system as it is now. Let me just go back to operating this. So there's different pre-programmed already temperature programs in there. So I hit 65 here, I just select, and then each temperature program typically has 2 steps: a preheat step when there is no nitrogen flowing, and then an actual evaporation step, which is step number 2, which goes up to 10,000 minutes, which of course is way too much, but we just put it in there that way. So here you see which step you're actually running, 1 and 2. And here will be the temperature and the elapsed time. We have different keys here. If I hit offset, it will run both steps, so the preheat and the evap, like this. You will now see it goes to step 1. The temperature is 30 degrees because we are already heating it up a little bit in the earlier part of the video, and now you can see the time elapsed. I'll hit stop now. If you, instead of offset, do just highlight the first step or the second step, it would just run that one step. So if I hit single, it's just going to preheat, but it isn't going to go to the actual evaporation part. There is also halts you can do. Let's hit offset, so it will start preheat. Now I'm going to push halt. And now it stops. You can see it stops at 0.2 minutes. And if I undo and push halt again, it will just continue. So these are the different features here. Stop is of course self-explanatory. It stops the whole evaporation process. And then there is also plot. I'll go to that. You can actually see here a little bit the heating up. The horizontal axis is the time, the vertical axis is the temperature. There's different scales available that you can set between, would typically be between 0 and maybe 100 or 80. And if you hit apply and exit, then you go back to the plot here. Here you see on the right side the elapsed time and the temperature. You can also change the scale. That's what we just did. We also, if you record the plot, then you can fast forward it with it, just like you do with a TV remote or whatever, at different speeds. And if you do clear, then it will just remove the entire plot. It's not a feature that I personally use a lot, but if you want to, you can record the temperature settings that way. Okay, there's also, if you want to run in, if you turn on the system and you choose a program, it goes to the auto mode here. But if I want to do manual, I can do that too. And if I check each of the rows, now I have, for instance, if I have 12 vials that are all filling up the first and the second row, I have 12 vials that I want to blow down, but the other 12 are empty. I don't need to use nitrogen gas to go through those tips here. Then I can actually just run it this way. So I now have it in manual mode, and we are just pretending that the first 2 rows are entirely filled up. And now I am just going to run, and then it's just going to do the same thing. It's going to heat up, and then it's going to do the evaporation. That's really the only difference between auto and manual, is that you can just choose, but you have to choose the whole row. So if you only have like 2 say you only have positions 1 and 2 in the first row where you are blowing down samples, then it's still going to blow down also in 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, if you are using just one whole row with 6 samples, then the manual will save you some nitrogen gas. Here there is the heating function. This will light up. I think you could see that early in the video. It starts to, if I hit on it now, it's because it's not at the right temperature. There we go. Let's see. Oh no, sorry. No, it's because it's a manual that it's not doing that. There we go. So now I'm going to hit single, and now it's going to heat up. Yeah, now the heat comes on. So yeah, I was actually also, I don't really use the manual mode that much. So yeah, I had to actually, if you put it in manual here and you start running, then of course you need to do the hit the stop here in the right upper window. Here now, if I do it, then it will go off. Okay, I'll go back to the top screen now again. We shown run and plot pretty much. Calibrate is where you can calibrate the thermocouple. There's a thermocouple in the SuperVap. You see it here, that it's with the white wire around it here, and it's stuck into the, so it's like a metal, it's about maybe like 3 or 4 inches long, goes in. It's a dry metal heating block, right? Remember, it's not a water bath, so it just goes down into the dry metal heating block, the thermocouple. You can calibrate it typically with melting ice and heated water. It doesn't have to be boiling per se, but this is described in the manual that you have. It's not something that we often do. I mean, I've worked here for many years, and I very rarely do this. But you can just calibrate the thermocouple this way. Configuration, I think that is only important for the LCD timeout. After the way it's set up here for 11 minutes. After 11 minutes the screen goes dark if it hasn't been touched, and you can set that here. I don't know what the maximum is, but I think it's at least 90 minutes. And if you hit OK, then it will just, all you have to do is clear it here and put in whatever time you want the blackout, the timeout to be, and then you press OK, and that is it. So, and then it'll just start using that new time. These other features you don't know, you have to worry about much typically. The data log here is actually where you can create a plot and store it in a separate file. You can just create a name here, a file name with this keyboard here, and if you do create, then it'll automatically start recording the data log for each of your evaporations, and you can also open it here and plot it, and you can also save it if you want. So after you create it, once the evaporation is over, you need to save it with the save button, and then it will store it on the SD disk. So there's a blue little SD disk in the back of the system. You didn't focus on that, but it's to the left of, well, if you're facing the evaporator, it's at the same height as the connection for the nitrogen, and then about 2 inches to the right there. Typically, you don't have to take it out, but yeah, if you wanna look at the data plots on a computer and you have an SD disk port, you could do that, I suppose. Then editor is the only other feature that is important here. So if I'm going to create a program, we typically would just take an existing program, and in the edit mode you can just do different things. You can do copy. It will now just add take the second line, which is the evaporation line, and put it in line number 3 also. And now you can edit the, you can also delete it again, like I did here. Now I'll copy again. So if I press edit, then I can change different features for this step. I can change the time, I can change the temperatures here, and I can add a description. I just have to just push the here, so now I can change the time here. If I push the temperature, I can change the temperature Tmax, and if I change the DESC for description here, I can add in a description and type with the keyboard here just a name for the step, hit apply all, and hit exit, and then you can do that way. If I go to save, I can either do save and override the existing program, or I can do save as and just save it under a different name. Here again, a keyboard. In the text box here, you type in whatever name you want to mention your new program, and you hit create, and then it will just show up at the listing here, and you have created a new program. I think that is pretty much what there is to it. Here we did copy and delete and edit and save. Again, also for these programs, you can, if you want to, uncheck the var line, so if I uncheck 3 and 4, that would mean that the third and the fourth row of in total of 12 polypropylene tubes would not be heated, and that way you can also create an automated program. Instead of going to the manual mode that we showed before, you can just create a program for the 2 upper rows, so a total of 12 polypropylene tubes there, and heat those, and you can just run it in the auto mode. I think that pretty much covers everything. I also want to tell you that we looked at the temperature stability, because I know that you had complained about it. We didn't really observe that. The temperature does go up and down a few degrees. It does read its set point. I think you had said that when you put it at 60, that you thought the temperature was always 56 degrees. We didn't observe that, so I'm not sure what went on there, but basically, typically the temperature should be very close to the set point. If you do the preheat step here, like here you go to 60 first, you do get a bit of an overshoot. So if you do 65 degrees directly, it may go up to 68. So to prevent that, for this program, we just we heat it to 60 degrees, and then when it goes to the next step, for the actual evaporation, where the nitrogen is flowing, then your overshoot will be less. It might be like 66 or something like that, and that won't be as much of an issue. I think that pretty much is everything here. It says here reset alarm, but again, there's no alarm on this. Our vial evaporators also, where we have vials for 2 or 4 milliliters does not have an alarm, and neither does the PFAS methods, since at least for methods 533 and 537 you evaporate to dryness. The alarm isn't, strictly speaking, then necessary, because there isn't really anything that can go. I mean, you want it to go to dryness, so therefore that alarm function isn't very useful. So yeah, I hope we have shown everything in this video. I know that I'll show it again here, that if you go up easily to 25 psi, and now I'm going to one more time show you, if I open up, well, the program is still here. If I go to step number 2, just hit single. Now it will, there we go. Oh, sorry, it's still on manual, so now I hit single. It will start heating now, and just waiting. Yeah, so the nitrogen is flowing now. I can easily go up to 25 psi, and let's just do 1 minute of high flow to show you that that is a very stable position for the pressure gauge. That's 25, or even, yeah, in fact even 26 psi, and it really has no problem maintaining that pressure. So your SuperVap should be working as it should be, and I think that if you just follow this video and you have sufficient delivery pressure. So again, I'm going to look one more time, but the delivery pressure is now on our door. In fact, it's about 50 psi, and it has no problem at all going to 25, 26 psi delivery pressure on the system. So there really shouldn't be any problem. I'm going to stop this now, and I'm going to unscrew this, screw this back, the regulator button here, so that we're going back to 0 psi, and we hit down at the top of the system, and that concludes the video. And please feel free to contact us if you have any further questions. Thank you.